All right. Can you hear
There.
me now?
Yes.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People. I am Coach Jan Lacanis and former U.S. Tai Chi Push Hands captain and coach, U.S. Tai Chi Push Hands team captain and coach. And what we're going to be doing here today, we changed our format last week, and we're going to be drilling down on the specifics of a single exercise. And we're going to do something called Neigong, which is 1/3 of the Tai Chi system. It is, I liken it to weightlifting for intention. And so it's repetitive movements with visualization and breath work. And we're going to focus on the 12 yin set of Neigong. We started last week with the fourth exercise of the 12 yin set. And yes, we started with the fourth and we're going on to the fifth. I'll go back to the first, second, third, and fourth, this first, second, and third another time. But this is going to be great. So we're going to train. And of course, this is open to all who want to join every week. It's free. And we always dedicate our training to a noble cause of the week. So once again, it's No Kid Hungry, and you can dedicate to them, donate to them on their website, nokidhungry.org, or go to donate on Instagram at No Kid Hungry. And so they're a great organization and highly recommend it. So that being said, let's start to train. And we're going to stand feet shoulder length apart and parallel. So let me fix this camera up a little bit. All right, there we go. Take my phone out. Don't need any unnecessary weight. All right, so feet shoulder length apart and parallel. A little icon popping up here. And of course, before we go into the details and specifics of a particular exercise, we're going to warm up. And so you warm up first and foremost with this exercise called gilded pillar. Lifting yourself from the head down to the tailbone, dropping from the tailbone. Mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth. Special attention on the middle finger of each hand. Palms facing down. And we're going to inhale, draw the breath into the belly. See the color gather. And exhale, push the color down the arms of the palms and fingertips. Inhale into the belly. Exhale down the arms of the palms and fingertips. Inhaling deep. Exhaling down. And even this exercise is actually requires a lot of focus and attention. And you can do it naturally, easy, and feel good about it. Just drawing the sensation of breathing, using the belly to pump the breath, taking pressure off the lungs. And as you feel that stream of air coming into the lungs, visualize it going even farther to what's called your lower dantian, about 2 inches or 3 finger lengths below the belly button, deep inside along your center line, also called the second chakra. And exhale, wash the color as you push from the belly up, chest, down the shoulders, down the arms, the palms and fingertips, about 1 inch or 2 beyond. It takes time to get used to the sensation and to coordinate the visualization. But just like anything, the more you do it, the stronger you're going to get. Inhale deep. Exhale, drop the hands down. Inhaling up. Exhale to the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up. Interlace the fingers, exhaling down. Inhaling up. This is uplifting heaven. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash the color of the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up, interlace. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Notice that my knees bent when I went down, and inhaling, straightening, going on my toes, going up. Stretching out of the shoulders and the hips. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling out. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And we're going to go right into our half horse stance, with feet shoulder length apart and parallel. You notice that I have more layers on than usual because it's now cold in Los Angeles. You're going to have hollow fists rested on your hips. You're going to inhale to the belly and exhale. Pelvis rotates on the femur. Inhaling, breath pulls you to the side and up. Eyes on the belly button. Exhaling down. Inhale, breath pulls you to the side and up. Eyes on the belly button. Exhaling down. Inhale, breath pulls you to the side and up. Exhaling down. And reverse it. Inhaling, breath pulls you to the side and up. Exhaling. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Inhaling deep. Exhaling. Sit a little bit lower. And we're going right into the fifth exercise of the 12 yin set of Neigong. White crane spreads its talons. Again, white crane spreads its talons. These are the talons, the fingertips. These shoulder blades, when you have your hands outstretched, your arms outstretched, are going to disappear into the upper back. So notice that they disappear here. The tailbone is going to drop, meaning that you'll bend the knees even more, weight mostly on your heels, and relax the lower back muscles. You also want to relax in the abdomen as well at the same time. So you want the tailbone to drop, but you want to make sure that you're not flexing here as a counterpoint to get that drop. So you drop the tailbone and then you soften in the abs as well. It's a slight roll. It's a slight roll in the abs. So you drop down and there's only a slight roll, because otherwise if you drop the abs all the way, the tailbone will stick out. So if you drop the tailbone, if you tuck the tailbone, which is what you don't want to do, then you might feel the flex here. So you just want to point it straight down, relax as much as you can to get that straight down tailbone. And then whatever you hold here, make sure you can minimize the tension in the groin area. So that's how you want to hold this stance, pretty much all of your postures in the half horse stance. And then notice how it quote unquote flattens the back, straightens the back. And then you're going to inhale. My shoulders will remain soft and down, even though it looks like they're tense right now because of this fleece I have on. You're going to inhale, draw the breath in, massage the temples. Matter of fact, I'll get a little closer, bending down just so you can see the mechanic here. And exhaling forward, in and out. Soften the hands, the fingertips, and gently grab the air. Inhale, pull forward, or pull in, massage the temples, exhale forward, in and up. The hands are pushing forward and they're going in. So they're pushing forward, in, and up. So there's a bunch of visualization here, but let's talk about the mechanic of forward, in, and up first. If you are pushing on an opponent's shoulders, meaning that let's say you have one hand and the other hand on your opponent's shoulders and you're pushing up, you're going to push them to the corner of a room, to the upper corner of a room. So you want to push forward, in, and up and launch them with pressure over their own hips. So you're starting to practice that very subtle angle, very subtle but very sharp angle here. And again, I'm kneeling right now just for the camera, because if I get too far back, I won't be able to see the details. So you should be in your half horse stance. If you would like, you can stand up. In the beginning, this is actually very important to give your legs some rest and to get into the idea of pumping the energy, the breath work, the chi. Exhale, push forward, in and up. Inhale, standing up. Massage the temples. Exhale. So you want to get into the coordination of dropping, of a downward idea as you exhale, pushing forward and up. Eventually, you'll stay seated while you do this. But as you push forward and up, the downward idea remains. So you train the downward idea overtly by standing up and exhaling, sinking, and sitting. Again, you have a lot of times in Tai Chi, you'll start out with an overt movement, something that's fairly noticeable. And over time, you want the circles to get smaller and smaller and smaller. It's the concept that the tighter the circle, the greater the centrifugal force. So this little drop here, boom, drop here, it's great, but you want to be able to achieve that without the big movement. So once you've done the pumping of the legs a bit, you can start to just maintain, maybe do 5 on, 5 off. Maintain the half push stance. And if you want to sit a little lower, you can do it. Just make sure your tailbone stays. So now that was the physical mechanic. But now let's get into the breath work. So the breath visualization, you map the visualization onto the body. Inhale, drawing the color up into the belly, and exhale, pushing it out of the hands. So inhaling, drawing the color into the belly. The color should feel like it's traveling along the soft parts of the arms into the belly. That's a very specific detail. And that might take time, that will likely take more time to get into that specific sensation, because you have to have a greater amount of control of your attention than most people have when they start this. So if you don't focus specifically on the inside of the arm, just feel the breath coming into the arm, into the belly, and exhale, pushing out of the arms. But if you do have that greater sense of control of your own attention, you're going to inhale and draw the color in the soft parts on the inside of your arms, rather than the hard part, which is the outside. You're going to draw that down the inside of both arms, and exhale, push it down the outside, the hard part of both arms, through the fingertips, the palms and the fingertips. It comes out the palm and the fingertips. That means that you're using this breath work, this visualization of the breath work, as a vehicle for your attention, and you're pushing the attention beyond the body. You can always push your attention beyond the body. All you do is look at something. So it's not magic. Just put your awareness and your attention on a thing. Put it on a table, on a chair. You know, there's a bunch of different exercises of imagine being in the chair. How does it feel to be in the chair? That's a whole neuro-linguistic programming. Wonderful system. So exhaling out, inhale, drawing the attention in, drawing the visualization in, pushing it out. Drawing the color into the belly. And if you want to get even more specific, as you're pushing out, the breath comes up. Really feel it even in the shoulder blades, as if it's running along a trail from the shoulder blades and then out down the arms. Again, this is called White Crane Spreads His Talent, and we're going to move on to another layer of concept that absolutely affects your performance of this move from a martial standpoint. So there's another moment here that we're talking about. There's actually a couple moments here. One, this is a crane fist. Crane fist grabs on the wrist right there. In Kung Fu, it also is used to hit with the wrist or the temple. And so in Tai Chi, though, you have these the sticky touch, and oftentimes you'll use it on someone's lower back. You might use it on someone's shoulder. And it's a very soft but firm touch. And if you play with Tai Chi practitioners that are very good at this, then you'll notice that they touch you differently. And so it is almost the opposite equivalent of a very powerful jiu-jitsu player who, when they get their grips on you, it's near impossible to get their grips off of you. If they're holding your wrist, your sleeve, or if they're holding your lapel, And so this is the opposite in the sense that there's really rarely a hold. Sometimes you'll get a snatch and a momentary snatch and pull and then a let go. So you get these quick moments, and it comes from, it is partially trained with this touch that you're doing right here. Right here. And so coming down, this touch, our teacher used to say, my father and I's, first, the Neigong teacher, Sifu Kiftong, Wu Style Tai Chi, would always say to us when teaching us these exercises, he would compare the sensation to pulling taffy. Now, I haven't had much taffy in my lifetime, but it is a candy that's very, very sticky. And you pull it. Also, you can think about pulling gum, but the sense of pulling something that is sticky on the fingers right here it's got shape, texture, density. And so when you grab, and keep the elbows down, I only move to the camera. When you grab, you should feel the texture. I'm going to use one hand you should feel, and you're imagining this. This is all in your mind. But you want to give yourself the sensation of squeezing something very, very, with some density here, and not a flex squeeze, not a hard squeeze, just a gentle squeeze, and then picking it up. And you can feel it stretching as you pull in. And one of the places you're going to feel it is in the shoulders. So because you're going to keep the shoulders forward, the shoulder blades forward, and you're going to feel the pull here. And you're going to feel the work being done in your shoulders while you maintain the elbows down. You're pulling with the concept, with the breath, activating the body mechanic. So here, inhaling, the breath is pulling the wrists back. And so you have your breath, the idea of the breath connected to the wrist. And then you have the idea of this dense material, this dense sensation that you're holding on to and pulling back. So you have the clamp and you have the pull from the wrist. Massage the temples. Exhale, pushing forward, in and up. Again, we're talking about the specifics of just this one moment, this gentle taffy pulling moment. Massage the temples. Exhale, pushing forward, in and up, with special attention on the middle finger of each hand. Of course, we were just talking about the concept of the breathwork visualization. Each one of these visual infrastructures gets layered on top of the other. So if you find yourself getting confused by all the details that I'm giving right now, that's okay. Pick one concept to focus on, whether that's the body mechanic or the concept of the breath, visualizing the breath and seeing that with the eyes open. Or it could be this concept we're talking about now, which is texture. We're talking about texture. We're creating texture with our minds, and our bodies are responding to it. Exhale, forward and up. Now, we were only talking about the texture with the pull. So now we're going to give texture to the push, massaging the temple and the push. Exhale, forward, in and up. Massage the temple. Texture. Exhale, forward, in and up. Now massage the temples. Exhale, forward, in and up. So the pressure, you're going to feel a sense of pressure. Inhale, pulling back, massage the temples. And when you push, it's as if you're pushing something heavy. Something very heavy. But the difference with the idea of the heaviness from, if you've ever seen dynamic tension, this is very different than dynamic tension. Dynamic tension in Kung Fu and Karate will have you flex your muscles as you push out to give you a sense of that weight and tension, weight and power. So something like that. You don't want to do that. You don't need that. And even if you do it a little bit more of the Shaolin Qigong way, there's still hard flex in my muscles. So we're not doing any of that. And I'm not saying that that's bad. That stuff is awesome. Too much of it is really bad for you, but it's awesome. It's great. I do it every morning, but this is different. So you inhale, massage the temples, have a sense of weight, the color, and you exhale, feeling that sense of weight. It's all in the mind. So you can just feel like you're pushing something heavy, and you're just moving through it, moving it out of the way. And you're picking up a similar sense of weight, that stickiness, that taffy, it's heavy. And exhale, pushing it forward, in and up. The concept is heavy. Very important to note that your attention, your will can instantaneously shift. And that is important for the concepts that we're working on right now, is that you may, let's say, pull the taffy, and then all of a sudden you're pushing a boulder. So the idea instantaneously changes just based on what you need for the movement. Just in case you're wondering, okay, well, what happens to the taffy? You don't want to get too attached to the idea that it follows you when it no longer serves you. So we're training specifically here, on the side, other side, inhaling up, pulling the taffy in, loading, and then exhale, push forward, in and up. Inhaling deep, massage the temple. The hands float down. You can still inhale if you would like. Exhale, forward and up. Drawing in. Exhale, forward and up. Now let's stay seated for a moment, and let's do our best to utilize all of the concepts at once. Inhale, feeling the taffy, drawing the color in, feeling the weight. Feel the heat in the hands, the circulation. And exhale, pushing the color out, and it's heavy. The hands are vibrating with the color. When I say vibrating, I don't mean shaking. We're not doing any of that. Like, the intention is to be still and push the breath forward in and out. Inhale deep, massage the temples. Inhale forward, in and up. Exhale forward, in and up. Again, if one concept is too much, if any of the concepts are too challenging, just focus on one, or the combination of the concepts. If they're too challenging, just focus on one. You can focus just on the body mechanic, and then you can start to put the color into it. Then you can start to put the weight into it. You can try each one on its own. I was taught in that order. More so, I was taught with the body mechanic and the breath work combined. Gentle little ideas of grabbing, and all these things where I am much more specific and detailed than, honestly, most of my teachers. And that's because I've asked them questions and pulled the details out of them. So when they taught them to me, these exercises, they gave details over time. So when I share these exercises on here with you guys, I give a lot of detail because it took so long to get that, you know, it shouldn't take you that long. Here's everything. We have more things to do as a society than wait years for these details. So here you go. Inhaling deep. And I do recommend doing this, or should I say, my teacher would recommend doing this about 50 times a day. just this one exercise. I don't even know how many we've done. Mark, I'm not sure if you're counting. And remember the small details of the elbows. If you find your elbows lifting up, that means there's unnecessary tension in your shoulder. And unnecessary tension, let's define that as anything that's not required for you to hold a posture and efficiently. So this isn't required. Relax your shoulders, drop the elbows down to relax the shoulders as much as possible. You may keep the elbows down, but you still might have tension in your shoulders. And so you just have to really pay attention. And this takes time. This is something that essentially for your entire life, you're going to be checking in with yourself. Always checking in with yourself to make sure that the tension is minimized. Right here, I'm keeping my elbows down as much as possible. Can I go farther? Probably. And so now I'm allowing my elbows to be pulled straight down by gravity. And that's one of the things that's most important. And if you're a Brazilian jiu-jitsu player or jiu-jitsu player in general, you'll know the concept of dropping your weight like an arrow through your opponent's body, meaning that you're on top of them on side control, or you're in the mount, etc. And you need to drop weight on a specific area of the body. So one of the ways to train that mechanic on your own is just allowing the elbows to drop straight down. You want to feel like gravity is pulling them straight down. Inhale. And then you maintain that straightness, not in a rigid sense, but just knowing that you're super relaxed and that the elbows are staying down. Gravity is still pulling them down. You massage the temples. The hands flow down. Exhale forward, in and up. And notice that this is not it's not a big circle here. It's not like just a wave or a roll. These are clearly defined moments. This is the end of your load. Sometimes you load your weight into your hips and you toss it off. Sometimes you load your weight into your opponent's hips and you make them toss you off and then set them up for another move that you're going to do. So here you're loading the weight into your hips. You should feel as the hands drop down, you should feel the subtle weight shift. Here. You should also feel a little bit here in the tailbone. Hands come down. You should feel very, very ready to push forward, in and up, boom, out. As if the weight is loaded here and it springs right out. And with that loaded weight, you have the color visualization. So those are two separate ideas that work at the same time. You have the color visualization, exhale, pushing you forward, in and up. That exhalation should feel as if you just opened up a fire hydrant and there's a hose attached to it. So the second that fire hydrant opens, the hose gets filled with water. So you want to feel the arms pushing out as if the energy is shooting like a hose with water through the palms. And then you grab again. Inhale, massage. Exhale, forward. Massage the temples. Forward. And just take a moment just to feel your wrists and your forearms. And just, you're training yourself right now on this little touch that you're doing here with the crane fist. Just feel the roll up. Feel how your tricep feels, how the elbow feels, how it feels to take the elbow and to gently move it up, And each arm essentially has its own mind right now. And you should almost feel like these are two different entities. Obviously, you control both of them. But one hand is just playing with the movement, and the other hand is agreeing. The other arm is agreeing with it. So in other words, you're allowing yourself to be soft enough, supple enough to be moved by these subtle pressures, which is fantastic because when you have an opponent who's playing with you overtly, who may not be as sensitive as you, you want to be able to go with them. And they want you to go over here. It's like, okay, great. But you only allow them as much as is required for you to be in the advantageous position. So here, you're not allowing yourself to be turned over all the way. You're just allowing the body to naturally move up by minimizing resistance, aka unnecessary tension. You're minimizing the resistance. You can do it on your shoulder as well. Do it on the lower back as well. Again, you might do this on someone's lower back just to get them to take a step. And sometimes all you need is somebody to take a step. You touch the lower back, they take a step, and maybe you execute a throw or throw a strike, etc. But you got them to take the step to throw off their rhythm, to position them the way that you want. So doing that, and you can also, if you'd like, and this is a separate exercise. I know I said I'm only going to do one, but we'll drill down on it. But just touching the air, this gentle concept of touching the air as if you're touching the taffy, same taffy that we're doing here, that we're focused on when you do that lift. The same taffy here, that stretch. Exhaling forward and up. You want to try to feel that even here. Just gentle tugs and pulls on it. And you can do it with both hands. Our teacher, again, Keith Tong, would do this just standing, relaxing. He might be waiting in line to pick up some fruit, and he would just touch the air. He would play with this. And this is very, very powerful, because that means this is not just waving your fingers in the air. And if that's the perception of it, then you're missing the point of all the visual and the other infrastructures layered on top of it. So here you have the concept of pulling that taffy. So you're creating in your mind texture. And it's very, very important for developing these more subtle skills that have overt results. So the overt results are, again, I'm coming from the athletic sports push hand side of what I'm talking about. The overt result for push hands is to push an opponent out of the ring or throw them on the floor. If you're doing grappling, etc., these are the overt results. But these small concepts, they build and build upon each other, and they have all these amazing applications outside of an athletic or martial experience. But that being said, this is focused on JFH hero training. So these are subtle, wonderful movements, and we'll do another 10 before stretching. To review, inhale, draw the color into the belly, feel the weight. Exhaling, sink, sit, push forward, feel the weight. Inhaling, drawing in. Massaging. Exhale, forward in and up. Again, feeling the weight, keeping the shoulders down, elbows being pulled. Forward in and up. Elbows are down as gravity's pulling them. Inhaling up. Massaging the temples. Hands float down. And exhale, the arms fill up as if fire hydrant's been opened, which is your exhalation, pushing the color like water through a hose through the arms. And you might ask how that connects to the concept of only running down the hard part of the arm. And that just gets into deeper layers of visualization. So a concept of maybe a bunch of pipes or hoses, boom, all pushing down the outside of the arm. And then inhaling, pulling it in through the inside of the arm. You can get as detailed as you would like with your visualizations, but the whole thing is, as long as you stay consistent with these visualizations, that's the only way you're truly going to see progress. So it's just like lifting weights. If you imagine something over and over, you're going to start seeing some results in your life. And again, this connects to the visualization techniques of top athletes and top CEOs, planning out and visualizing your life and your strategy. Exhale, forward and up. And inhale, drawing in. Exhale, shift the weight. exhale. Let's shift again. Let's inhale up and just open up the hips. We just did a bunch of work on the legs. Exhale down, inhale, open the hips. Exhale down, inhaling up, open the hips. And then feet 2 fists apart. You're going to inhale, lift the wrists, fingers to the back wall, chest to the ceiling, hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees, inhaling up. Fingers to the back, chest up, hips forward, weight on the toes. Exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees. Anytime you train, you want to make sure that you stretch. You can consider your training incomplete if you don't stretch. Always stretch after the training, even if it's just a few exercises. Soften the knees. Inhaling out. Exhale, push the color to the palms and fingertips. Inhale deep. And we're going to take 1 foot. We're going to put it out and exhale, wash the color down the arms and down the legs at the same time. And you're going to just hold. You're going to hold the tip of the toes. Inhale deep, exhaling down. Inhale up, switch sides. 1 foot out. Exhale, wash color down the legs. Hold the tip of the toes. Inhale deep, exhaling down. Pull a little bit deeper. Inhaling out. Switch sides, 45 degrees. Exhale, washing down. Hold. Inhale deep. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Switch sides. Hold down. Exhale. Hold. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Down the legs. 90 degrees. Hold. Inhale deep. Exhale. Pull yourself a little bit farther in. One more time. Inhale. White light into the belly. Whatever color you like that intuitively comes to you. I'm doing white light. Exhale. Wash it down the legs. Hold. Inhale deep. Exhale. Pull. Inhaling up. Almost as if you're bringing white light like a drape over you. And exhale. Wash it down the legs. Inhaling up. Maybe like a tidal wave rising, turn to your right side onto your toes. Exhale, wash down. Inhaling up to the left side. Exhale, wash down. Inhaling up over the head. Exhale, wash down. Holding out. And just to clarify, I had said that this was exercise 5, and it is exercise 5. The what we focus on the majority of today is exercise 5 from the 12 set. And I just realized that I probably should go through each exercise quickly so that you know where you are in the order, because you may not know the first few. So just to go quickly through it, I really won't talk about it much. Exercise 1 is golden tortoise. You're gonna have your bend the knees, going down. Inhaling into the belly. Make sure the back is flat. Exhale the whole body. Inhale over the hands. Exhale through. And we stay here much longer when we do it formally. Lift your collarbone if you need to reestablish the posture. Exhale down. Inhale. That's exercise 1. Exercise 2, exhale. Push the color of the palms of the fingertips. You're in embracing the 1. Again, this is the 12 yin set of Nigong. Tailbone down. Mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth. All the breathing is in and out through the belly. Inhaling, drawing the color in through the soft part of the hands, meaning here into the belly. And exhaling from the belly out through the shoulder blades, again, like you're opening up a fire hydrant and the arms are hoses. Push the color through. You might even see my fingers react. Sometimes I do that where I soften the fingers for inhale and exhale. I just activate them just slightly. It's exercise 2. Exercise 3, palms facing up. Palms should face the sky and the ceiling. the shoulder blade should be disappear into the upper back, tailbone. Always readjust yourself if you need to for this. And then inhale up the front of the body, rolling the attention up from the toes to the head. Exhale down the back, head to heel. So slight tension in the anus, tongue's on the ceiling of the mouth. This is called big orbit breathing. So those 2 points are very important in the big orbit in traditional Chinese medicine. Inhale up the front, exhale down the back. Inhaling up the front. One more down the back. And exercise 4 from last week. Inhale, drawing the breath in. Exhaling down. Inhale. This is the transition exercise 4. We did this last week. Hold your breath and hold a diamond at the tailbone, at the base of the spine. Swallow your saliva twice. And then exhale, push the wrists into the lower back massage. Inhale, bringing the palms up. And I think we did this part. Swallow it, hold the breath and swallow twice. My right hand is at the solar plexus. My left hand is just under the dantian. On that second swallow, you trace, visualize the saliva as if it's a droplet going all the way down inside on your center line to your lower dantian. Once you get there, inhaling up like an explosion, slow motion, exhaling down. Stage 1 inhalation, stage 2 inhalation, stage 1 exhalation, stage 2 exhalation. Drawing the collar into the belly. This is Jade Rabbit Watches the Moon. Drawing the color in, seeing the color gather. Exhale, compress it, and then flatten it. Inhale, draw bright light into the belly. Even deeper, gets even brighter. And you exhale, you make it dense, and then you flatten and make room for more. Energy storage exercise, inhaling up, even deeper, exhaling down. And then, of course, today's white crane spreads his talons, inhaling up. You can stand on the first 5, exhaling down, forward and up. Inhaling deep. Then, of course, sit once you've done 5. Massaging. And of course, you stretched, which we already did. And then coming back to feet shoulder apart parallel, rub the hands together. Exhale, let's just push down the leg and slap up the legs. Soft part of the body, down the hard part. The inside soft part, slap, 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 all the way up. Turn down the outside hard part. Finish Tai Chi. You always want to do this little self-massage. You slap over the shoulder, and then down the back. Inhaling out. And this is called Ocean of Blood Returns to the Source. Pretty much the final exercise you do before finishing up your self-massage. Inhaling, just the fingertips rise. Exhaling down. When I say just the fingertips, I mean the fingertips themselves are activated. Everything else gets pulled up by the fingertips. You'll even see a little bit of a slight movement in the wrist because they're pulling the hands. It's not going to be overt, it's not going to be hard because then that would cause a flex in your forearm. So it's just enough to maintain enough softness in the hand and the arm. One more. Keep the weight on the heels. That's the passive position. There'll be a time when you put it on the balls of the feet. Massage the hands together and around the chest, around the breast. Inhaling into the belly, exhaling, pushing the color from the belly through the arms into the chest, strengthening the lung cavity, the chest cavity, and then start tapping around pectoral major, especially the outer line that separates pectoral minor, which is up here, from pectoral major, which is all here. So really massaging around that line, and then massage into the muscle itself. Do your best to go even deeper into the lymph nodes, And then from the floating rib up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Strong pressure should reverberate through the chest cavity. Other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 fingers on the sternum, up and down. 4 fingers. Again, for the immune system. U shape on either side of the collarbone. Hooking under the lip, and then thumb under the chin. Squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. And massage up to the side, up and to the side, up and to the side. Massaging around the ears. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go through the scalp. Front to back, back to front. Massaging with the fingers, front to back, and back to front. Massage. Front to back, back to front. And slap. Front to back, back to front. Hollow fist, gentle banging. Front to back, back to front. Grab scalp, knead it like dough. 1, 2, 3, and another one. 2, 3, another one. 1, 2, 3, another. And reverse it. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 3. Fingers of the forehead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then reverse it. This is the right at the edge of the forehead. And then temples. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reverse it. 3, 4. Under the eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And reverse it. The heart. Press right here where the nose meets the lip and massage. Other side. Top and bottom. 1, 2. And switch. 4 fingers the side above the gums, and feel the fingers fall into the grooves just beneath your cheekbone, just above the gums, and massage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing on the bottom, beneath the gums, below, just above the jawbone itself, the protruding part. Massage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then tongue. And reverse it. Flick the fingers out. Thumbs. And 1, 2, 3, and grab. 1, 2, 3. And press and hold and drill. 1, 2, 3. Tap. 1, 2, 3. Other side. Press and hold and drill. 1, 2, 3. And tap. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Grab. 1, 2. Close the eyes. Inhale. White line to the belly. Exhale, spread to the whole body. Inhale, roll light up the front of the body, foot to head. Exhale, down head to heel. Inhale, white line up the left side, foot to head. Exhale, on the right side, head to foot. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, push the light through the head, making a big fountain around the body. Spreads out all directions. Make a big bubble. One more time, inhale, right line to the belly. Exhale, down the legs into the ground. Now come back up and around like a fountain reverse. Inhale to the belly. Relax. Thank you guys so much. As usual, this is Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People, Coach Jan Lucanis. And love you guys. You can always join the Justice for Hire cinematic universe from justiceforhire.app. And we're producing a show together worldwide. We have a global cast. It's great times. And all of these training sessions are free, but you can always donate to the Noble Cause of the Week. We've been doing No Kid Hungry. So you can go to @NoKidHungry on Instagram or nokidhungry.org and donate to them directly. And we love you guys. And I'm going to press stop on this recording. Always feel free to ask questions because these are detailed exercises. Like I said, I give a lot of details because they are required. And so always feel free to ask questions. Love you.